Welcome to the news on Zodiac with me, Chancellor Zabanda. First, the headlines. People's Party in talks with Mafunde Party on a possible political alliance. Malawi Police Service says officially writes their counterparts in South Africa over media reports that a Malawian has been arrested with 100 ATM cards. WFP predicts over 2 million people in the country to still face hunger after March next year due to effects of El Nino. In other news, Kenya Education Ministry confirms 17 died after fire in dormitory for boys. Those were the headlines. We now give you the news in detail. People's Party President Dr. Joyce Banda says she has had talks with Mafunde Party President George Nessa on a possible political alliance in readiness for the 2025 general elections. Banda, who was speaking during the official opening of the party's elective convention in Lero, said a final resolution on the discussions will be communicated on Saturday, the final day of the convention. Followers of Mafunde Party accompanied their president George Nessa at the PP convention, which also invited other political parties such as the UDF. Franklin Tambalik has filed this report.
As the country gears up for the 2025 general elections, political alliances seem to be inevitable if political parties want to garner more support to carry the day. People's Party President Dr. Joyce Banda just confirmed this on Friday in Lilongwe during the opening of the party's elective convention, when she mentioned that discussions were at an advanced stage with Mafunde Party on a possible political alliance.
Honorable George Nessa and I have worked together for a long time, but recently he has been coming and we've been talking. And we've been talking and we have said, wouldn't it be nice if we traveled together on this journey?
Mafunde President George Nessa says the agreement will center on supporting each other's candidates from grassroots, especially in areas the two parties have a larger following.
Mafunde has been part of the Tonsi Alliance. So as we've been going along, we've been talking to one another and see how we are going to approach the next generations. In the past, alliances have been done on short notice and in a hurry. But we're making an effort to start giving one another ideas on how we want to work for the 2025 elections. As a result, they are going to seek a mandate from their new executive on who they are going to look at. We are also going to seek from our own executive.
This was also observed during the recent Democratic Progressive Party convention in Blantyre, where in Directorate its President Peter Mutharika highlighted the need for unity of purpose ahead of the 2025 general elections.
The Malawi Police Service says it has officially written their counterparts in South Africa over media reports that a Malawian has been arrested with 100 automated teller machine cards of Malawian banks. National Deputy Police spokesperson Harry Namwaza says the response will guide them in determining their next course of action. According to authorities in South Africa, the woman, who has not been officially identified, was also found with 2,450 rands she could not account for. Last year, police at Kamuzu International Airport arrested 5 people who were found in possession of over 300 ATM cards.
We have also seen social media regarding the issue you are talking about. So as Malawi Police Service, we have written our counterparts in South Africa to check if they are really transparent. So we are waiting for their response, and from their responses when we can see the way forward.
The Higher Education Students' Loans and Grants Board says it has finally started dispersing grants to students who have demonstrated exceptional academic performance in public universities. Speaking to journalists after giving out one-year loan grants to 26 students from the Malawi University of Business and Applied Sciences, MUBAS, in Blantyre, board member for the organization Dr. Henry Shingaipe said the board has set aside 100 million kwacha to provide grants to students who've scored distinctions. Christopher Sunday reports from Blantyre.
For the first time since its inception in 2015, the Higher Education Students' Loans and Grants Board has started disbursing grants to students who scored distinctions in public universities. One of the organization's board member, Dr. Henry Shingaipe, thinks the grants are offering a huge opportunity to students to work hard and later contribute to national development.
2023-2024 academic year, we set aside a pilot sum of money of 100 million kwacha. This grant scheme is easier from our point of view, to administer in public universities.
Minister of Education Madalitso Wawirima shares similar sentiments.
This means a lot, not only to Minister of Education, but to the country. And it's something that's commendable. It's something that should have been implemented, like I said, in 2015, but took a while, obviously, I'm sure, because of resource constraints. But we had to start. And I'm so glad. And I'm so... and I congratulate the board for actually taking this bold step.
Meanwhile, the board has signed a memorandum of understanding with the higher education institutions in order to scale up easy disbursement of loans, grants, and loan recovery. And the body's executive director, Prince Pwetegere, is of the view that this is the way to go.
This signing is very significant in the way that we would like to have smooth collaboration between higher education students loans and grants board and the higher education institutions in this country.
For Zodiac, this is Christopher Sunday.
And receiving the check, Ambassador David Cloud, AU representative of Southern Africa, said the donation will help in the management of the event, which will show of Africa culture and development.
Twofold. Firstly, the AU SARO office here in Lero has been a partner for National Bank for a very long time. So at the National Bank, we always support our partners at the time of need like this one. Secondly, the theme for Africa Union Day this year is education, which we also as a bank is very central to what we do in this country. I did not overemphasize the importance of the education system in Malawi. Government has put this as a priority, so as a good corporate citizen, we also support the government in this effort.
Definitely, we want to have a celebration that would leave a mark, that would make a statement that education is extremely important in the life of a country and, of course, in the life of any individual. If you want to fulfill the potential of a person, educate that person. If you want a person to contribute positively in the life of its country, in the economy of its country, educate that person. But if you want to fulfill the potential of a country, you need to have citizens that are well educated. Like I said in my statement, a child that is miseducated is a child that is lost.
And National Bank of Malawi says education remains the key of achieving the Malawi 2063 development agenda, hence its support towards initiatives that enhance higher and inclusive education in the country. The Institute of Internal Auditors Malawi has reflected on the past 25 years as a mixed bag for the profession. Speaking at the Silver Jubilee Annual General Conference in Mangochi on Friday, IIAM President Alik Mwale acknowledged the progress made since his humble beginnings with few members. Despite achieving positive strides, the journey has been fraught with challenges. Meanwhile, John Robson Kamanga, CEO of the Malawi Stock Exchange, cautioned internal auditors to be vigilant against cyber attacks as they adopt technological methodologies. Rafael Mozoa reports.
The Institute of Internal Auditors says celebrating the Silver Jubilee, marking 25 years since its inception in 1999 with just 5 members, is a major milestone for the profession. Today, the organization boasts of over 500 members, according to its president, Alik Mwale. However, Mwale acknowledges that the journey has not been without challenges, encouraging the membership to embrace technological methodologies and work collaboratively with management rather than acting as police officers within their organizations.
We are celebrating 25 years of our existence in Malawi. We started in 1999, and so far so good. We have had a number of successes in terms of our growth in Malawi. We started with 5 members, but now we are over 500. We have also contributed to a number of issues involving risk management, governance and control process in Malawi.
Guest speaker John Robson Kamanga, CEO of the Malawi Stock Exchange, emphasized the importance of internal auditors ensuring their organizations addresses risk issues and build resilience to recover from disruptions, particularly in the face of increasing cyber attacks and corruption.
As we develop actually technologies, you find that there are also others who are trying actually to develop themselves in terms of attacking systems within our organizations. In the past, we used to say we had these viruses, but now there is the human cyber security in terms of cyber attacks.
This year's conference theme, Be the Change, Internal Audit in the Era of Disruption, highlights the need for adaptability in an evolving landscape. For ZBS, this is Rafa Mlozowa reporting.
6 days into the tourism month of September, Lilongwe Handling Company has unveiled Tiende Lounge at Kamuzu International Airport for travelers as a show of commitment to promoting tourism standards in the country. Board chairperson for the company, Gift Nkhani, says part of the special treats for those using the lounge, once they pay a fee, they will be exempted from standing on the queue when checking in to board airplane and free meals. He said this is part of diversifying sources of revenue for financing the company's operations.
Actually, without saying it, but the main idea behind this is diversification of what we're doing, because when we had COVID, we realized that when you're just depending on one line of business, and then when you're not having income, you're not having reserves. So right now we're having so many plans to make sure that we have so many things that we're doing, and we also have other plans. We have a car hire, we also have maybe to have an airline of our own, so that we grow the business, so that when we have problems at some instances, some part of the business can take care of the other part of the business.
Officially opening the lounge was Tourism Minister Vera Kantukule, who commended Lihako management for the initiative and adopting a name that gives inspiration to players in the tourism sector, not to falter and inspires growing the tourism sector.
The handling company is a government institution, but that does not get resources from the government, from the national budget. So they have to generate their own resources. So this is part of their diversification to grow the business, but also to run operations. And I'm very excited that at least they are going to give our customers, the people that are going to be coming into the country or going out of the country, a lifetime experience as far as what Malawi has to offer. And I think for me, you know, when you're traveling, sometimes airports can be a little bit tiring, but you need to come to a place at which you are able to relax, able to do your work, so that your life is still continuing. And I think this is what we have seen here. And they've even told us that they have unlimited and very, very fast internet access here for people that are going to be accessing this lounge. So for me, I'm very excited. You may be aware that we cannot deliver a tourism package on our own. We need the issues of air connectivity, but also the relaxation and the experiences that people have. So you can have all the infrastructure in the world, but it's the experience that people are going to be talking about.
Let's look at how the Malawi kwacha is faring against major currencies in the world, according to the Reserve Bank of Malawi. You're watching the news on Zodiac with me, Chancellor Zabanda, and we'll be back after this break.
Ndi loto la munthu wina aliyense kukhala ndi nyumba yosiririka komatu lotoli limakwaniritsidwa ndi a By Grace Kitchens and Accessories. By Grace Kitchens and Accessories iyitu ndi stolo yapamwamba zedi ku area 3 mu mzinda wa Lilongwe. By Grace Kitchens and Accessories ndiye akatswiri ocheretsa nyumba yanu ndi katundu wapamwamba zedi monga ma kitchen units, ma melamine boards, masinki, screws, ma wardrobes, granite, ma rapdoors, tingoti ndi katundu yense osiyanasiyana otsirizisira komanso kongoletsera nyumba yanu. Tipezeni mu mzinda wa Lilongwe ku area 3 pafupi ndi NBS Bank kapena tiyimbireni foni pa 0999 268 060 kapena 0882 553 923. By Grace Kitchens and Accessories, nyumba iwale waliwali.
How much does your building weigh? A question often used to challenge architects to consider the efficiency of materials used, and you can rightfully respond if your partner is Cash Build. With Cash Build, people that have been building for hundreds of years will certainly agree that from bathtubs and toilets, new light ceiling boards and fascia boards, garage doors, aluminium doors and window frames, steel door frames as well as window frames, waterproofing materials, ceramic floor and wall tiles, rhino boards, rhino light and rhino mold, wooden doors and many more. If you're looking for materials as required by building experts, then you are safe and sound with us. Don't blame your builder. Simply invest in quality building materials. Trust Cash Build. We are in City Plaza building, next to Electrocells along the Massaoko-Chipembere Highway in Limbe, at a code center, Mzimba and Maziwulu Road, Lilongwe. Call us now or visit www.cashbuild.co.za. Cash Build, quality building materials at the lowest prices.
Life moves fast, and so should your packages. Say goodbye to waiting and hello to convenience with Post Courier, your go-to courier service. When you choose Post Courier, you're choosing speed, reliability, and peace of mind. I can always count on Post Courier for quick and safe deliveries. They never let me down.
Mbatatisi ndi chakudya chokoma kwambiri. Mbatatisi yomwe yonse chuma kwa alimi otsogola komanso mavenda. Tsopano kwabwera mbatatisi ya mtundu wa chuma yomwe alimi akupha nayo makwacha. Chuma ndi mbatatisi yomwe imacha msanga masiku 90 okha, imayika kwambiri kupatsa alimi 40 tons pa hekta imodzi. Imapirira kung'amba ndi kuchita bwino ndi mvula yochepa. Imapiriranso kuchiwawo ndi tizilombo. Mbatatisi ya mtundu wa chuma ili ndi khungu lolimba, sisupuka ndipo imakhalisa ili bwinobwino komanso sipuka wamba. Ili mgulu la zakudya zokhutitsa ndipo imapatsa thanzi ndi mphamvu. Anthu ndi makampani opanga zakudya kuchoka ku mbatatisi monga chipisi, macrisps ndi zina akukonda kwambiri mbatatisi ya mtundu wa chuma. Pindulani thanzi ndi ndalama ndi mbatatisi ya mtundu wa chuma. Uthengawu akukupatsirani ndi International Potato Center ndi thandizo lochokera ku the Embassy of Ireland kudzera ku RTC Market Project.
Welcome back. Moving on with the news, the World Food Programme, WFP, has predicted that over 2 million people in the country will still face hunger after March next year due to effects of the El Nino weather conditions. Its country representative, Paul Turnbull, says it is high time Malawi started investing more in agriculture by encouraging its citizens to farm diversified crops and shift from dependency on maize farming. Zuleka Nango has filed this report.
World Food Programme Country Representative Paul Turnbull says Malawi should have good resilience strategies in place to address the effects of El Nino. He says the country should also start focusing on ways to reduce post-harvest loss, as about 30% of food is lost after harvesting.
Some farmers sell their food early
because they're worried about it getting damaged by pests and diseases. Now, what typically happens there, they sell the food earlier than they should, and then they have to buy back later in the season. And they might be paying more for the food later in the season. So those sorts of techniques make a big difference in Malawi.
Commissioner for the Disaster Management Affairs, Dodma Charles Kalemba, says they have resilience strategies in place to ensure that they curb the food insecurity challenge in Malawi.
Now, hunger is one of the disasters that can be dealt with by changing the way we do things. We cannot continue to depend on rain-fed agriculture.
Japan Ambassador to Malawi, Yoichi Oya, says his government is committed to helping Malawi in addressing the food insecurity problem that has hit it.
We are happy, and I hope our support contribute to overcome current dire situations in Malawi.
Approximately 36,000 households are expected to benefit from the 1,860 metric tons of rice produced in Japan, worth about 3.5 billion kwacha. Zuleika Nanguo, Zodiac, Lilongwe.
Organizers of the Muslim Arts Awards, MAA, have expressed satisfaction that the introduction of the initiative has assisted to broaden economic opportunities for Muslim artists in Malawi. The organization's patron, Justice Jabalide and Chairperson Tyros Bagiri, said through the awards some artists have been engaged as brand ambassadors for various organizations. The sentiments were made when Liberty Immigration Services Limited donated 2 million kwacha towards this year's awards, slated for December in Blantyre.
We are very grateful to Liberty Immigration Services for this very, very important gesture, very, very timely in that over the past few months we have intensified our efforts to get more and more funding towards this event, which we are planning to have as usual in December. I think let me take this opportunity to go out and say that these awards that we take year in, year out are very, very important of part of our service to the community, because we aiming to expose the talent and the potential that we have in various Muslim artists across the nation, involved in music, which we call nasheeds, poetry, drama, and so on and so forth, so that they get exposed and that they undertake their role, their artistic role that Almighty God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, granted to them. As you may know, it ranges. Some of them becomes entertainment, some of it becomes so on and so forth, in a very good way, in a spiritual way sometimes. And it's
a local non-governmental organization spearheading a fight against violence against women and girls, as well as other forms of inequalities, has touted community action groups as the right solution to solving socio-economic challenges. The Coalition for the Empowerment of Women and Girls, CEWAG, Human Resources Officer Patrick Laposo, has told us such interventions are vital in taking responsible authorities to task over issues that involve their socio-economic living. Sambanda reports.
Laposo says cases of lack of adequate development, as well as violence towards women and girls and other forms of abuse and inequalities, are on the increase because there is no link between the communities and responsible authorities. During an interface meeting between community action groups and officials from government departments such as agriculture, security, health and education, which CEWAG facilitated at Chankandwe Community Day Secondary School in the area of Traditional Authority Masula in Lirongwe yesterday, Laposo said such interventions are vital for responsible authorities to understand the needs of their people in terms of development and other pertinent issues affecting their lives.
Their role is to take action when they have seen that there are problems on the ground dealing with their rights of the girl child, rights of the women, so that when they see these things, they have to take them to direct or to duty bearers, because these community action groups are staying direct in the communities.
Meanwhile, Meanwhile, Area Development Committee Chairperson for TA Masula, Joseph Chataika, and the area's Community Action Group Secretary General Gabriel Banda described the interface meeting as vital and an opener for more opportunities. The Coalition for the Empowerment of Women and Girls, CEWAG, is implementing a 5-year project in Lirongwe, Mchinji and Palombe on behalf of Oxfam to contribute towards reduced inequalities and poverty in women and girls.
In other news, the Kenyan Ministry of Education has confirmed that 17 pupils have died following the fire in the boys' dormitory at the hillside in Darasha Primary School. Another 14 other people are injured and in various hospitals, the ministry said in a statement. The dormitory that caught fire was housing 156 students. The school has 824 pupils, 402 boys and 422 girls, and of these, 316 are boarders and the remaining are day pupils. And that's what we had time for in this edition of the news. Before we leave